Many people are loving Mark and Emma's friendship dynamic on Ladies of London, and for viewers particularly in America who are new to Mark Francis, this is not Mark's first dynamic duo. In fact, across Mark's reality TV career, he's been part of many dynamic duos. So let's get into all of Mark's former besties before Emma joined the scene. Mark's first ever partner was Gabby Licious. This was a very short-term partnership, but this is where Made in Chelsea producers saw Mark thrive in a dynamic duo environment, I feel. Gabby Licious only lasted a couple of seasons, and she was most known for having a party to show off some work she had done to her chest area. After Gabby left, they did partner him with Richard Dinnan for a lot of scenes. He was just another posh boy like Mark. He had some good banter, but it just wasn't meant to be. Like, the chemistry wasn't there. However, eventually, after being on the show for a couple of seasons together, but being on wildly different sides of the overall friend group, Mark and Victoria finally met, and they would be the main dynamic duo on the show. Victoria was just as savage as Mark. She was incredibly cutting, she was posh. She was famously known for calling the only plus-size cast member on the show at that point a fat turkey at a Christmas dinner scene, prompting that cast member to leave the show shortly after. Victoria and Mark together would surpass their generation of cast on Made in Chelsea. And instead of trying to integrate Mark and Victoria with the new cast members, they would instead just have Mark and Victoria film separate scenes of them complaining about things and being posh and just insert it into the season. So you would just have other storylines going on, then every couple of episodes you would just get a scene of Mark and Victoria saying the most outlandish stuff, and viewers loved it. Mark and Victoria also adopted Georgia Toffolo for a short period of time. Georgia was like a junior cast member who was kind of up and coming. She became very famous after going on the British TV show I'm a Celebrity, and then she married the founder of Brewdog, and now her reputation is in the mud. She went from being loved by being this posh girl that oddly was relatable to the rest of the UK, and then she became the worst version of herself. Victoria did end up leaving the show for a couple of seasons, and they ended up pairing Mark with a girl called Rosie May. Rosie May was also into art and design, so they would just kind of wander around artistic places, maybe at Mark's house and looking at all the paintings he had. Rosie ended up going on a TV show called Buying London after, which was like a bad version of Selling Sunset, which lasted one season. And in Mark's final scene partner before the return of Victoria was another boy called Freddie. Essentially, it was just like trying to make Freddie into a mini Mark Francis by teaching him culture. Today, Freddie is mainly known for doing interviews in a really gross nightclub in London called Inferno's. Once Victoria returned to the show, they continued to do their bits here and there before both leaving the show together. What was interesting about their final scenes was that this was all going down at the same time Victoria's husband had been arrested for art fraud. Yeah, it was a very strange ending, but they're both still friends to this day. And now, of course, in 2026, we have the Mark and Emma dynamic duo friendship. I like them as a duo, but I'll always be a Victoria and Mark stan through and through. But yeah, that's a little reality TV history for you.